Yes, he had 42. Great offensive performance, but why ain't nobody talking about his defense in the fourth quarter? That man was getting blown by like he
Yeah,
had.
he was.
Oh my goodness, it was terrible. I was like, this. They just blitzing him.
Right now, I want to talk about last night's game, and that was the Golden State Warriors versus the Mavericks. Interesting first half. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be a blowout, another stinker.
Yeah.
Because the playoffs, Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals have been just a disaster. Like, just straight boring. I'm not going to lie. I dozed off a little bit because I was like, oh, man, here we go again. Because I just saw Luka cooking. And so I was like, I wasn't a believer. So, yeah, how did you feel about last night's game?
I wasn't feeling it the first half. I was like, man, I'm tired of these games being blowouts. But then I was like, but it is the Warriors, though. I ain't think the Mavs was going to give up a 14. Or, no, they was leading by 19 at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, man, they ain't blowing this lead. But I was like, well, it is the Warriors. And lo and behold, third quarter Warriors came through. And, well, y'all seen what happened the rest of the game.
Yeah. The Warriors in the third quarter, they're just historic for the third quarter runs. You see Stephen Curry, Clay, Jordan Poole.
Clay wasn't even – he ain't really – I'm not going to say he ain't really contribute, but he wasn't the main
Andrew Wiggins.
Force.
Andrew Wiggins.
Playoff Wiggins is a thing. I don't know where it came from, but, hey, the man's been hooping.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins is playing really good basketball for them, playing that Harrison Barnes type of role.
He's doing way better than Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, for real. Like, playing defensive-wise, even though Harrison Barnes, he still contributed, but in the finals, he was a no-show. Anywho, back to the game, though, in itself. And Luka Doncic, he was just unstoppable that first half. It didn't matter. They put Andrew Wiggins on him. They pretty much did the same thing that they did last game, but it just didn't work. Like, Luka Doncic, you could just tell that he was watching film, and Jason Kidd was just yelling at him probably before the game. Like, you need to go at them, and because you're a superstar. You got it. You're feeding off of your assertiveness, your aggressiveness in the offensive floor, because without you, we're not going to thrive. So it was interesting. And then the second half rolls around and you just see a colossal collapse by the Mavericks. And honestly, I'm not surprised because let's face it, all they have is Luka, and then they have complementary pieces, role players. Why are you making that face? It's really just Luka and complementary pieces.
Jalen Brunson had 30 points. Reggie Bullock had 21 points.
They were hitting their shots. That's the key. The first half, what they did that they didn't do last game, they were hitting their three-pointers. Because if you watch the game itself, you'll see that that obviously the Warriors are keying in on Luka, right? And so you see like the help side defenders are not gonna they're gonna lag off a little bit, sag off a little bit on the 3-point shooters. So that will give guys like Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, Finney Smith open shots because they're paying most of their attention on Luka. And I'll say this about Draymond, because the first game, he did a really good job on like the help side defense. So like for instance, when like Wiggins, he was guarding Luka, or Clay, or even Steph, because he would be switched on him. Draymond will be on the side, he'll be back there waiting for Luka to drive, and he'll play the passing lane, he'll strip the ball. So this game, he wasn't as effective. I would say the second half, it sort of was. That's when the defense started to build up. But Luka still got his.
Yeah, for sure.
But they still lost at the end of the day. And I think that was
at least when Ja had 40, they won.
Hold on. Wait a minute. That is true. I give you that, but Ja has more help. Come on now.
Did anyone besides Ja have 30 points that game? I don't think
That's
so.
true. He did carry. I'm not gonna hold you. He did carry that game, but he does have a lot more help. Defensively, Memphis is better. Offensively, they have Desmond Bane, even though he was sort of off. Dylan Brooks, I don't even think he was playing that game. Was that the suspended game?
That was game 2. Yeah.
He was suspended that.
No, he was ejected.
He was ejected. He was ejected. And then Draymond was ejected too.
Yeah, I did.
So I get that he scored that many points, but there was no Draymond Green on the court.
First of all, The Warriors went on the run because Draymond Green got in foul trouble.
That is a good.
That man
a
sat
good
down
point.
and they went on like a 13-0 run.
That is a good.
Draymond is trying his best out there to get suspended. I don't know what he's doing. This man, this dude needs to relax.
Yeah, he does need to relax.
I get it. He plays with the fire. He's the energy guy, but like, dude, there's bigger things at stake here. Because if you get suspended for another finals game, whoever, either the Celtics or the Heat, is going to be the Celtics. They're going to take advantage of that.
It's going to be bad.
That man needs to relax. It is not that serious.
It's going to be bad because they really need his presence. This is not 2016 where you have, honestly, I would say, or 2017 or 2018 where you have a Kevin Durant and you have some other pieces that you can rely on. No, this is, y'all are not as deep as you once were. The defense, like, gotten older, you know. Clay's gotten older, Steph's gotten older. Andrew Wiggins is cool, he's nice, but he's still, listen, Luka's still giving him the business on offense. So Draymond, he's more valuable than ever. You don't have an Andrew Bogut that can clog the paint. You don't have somebody like
Kayvon Looney is the GOAT. Kayvon Olajuwon.
He's all right. I mean, he's all
right. Olajuwon.
He ain't no Andrew Bogut. Like, Andrew Bogut, think about it. If you watch the Cavs versus the Warriors finals, LeBron wasn't doing nothing in the paint. It wasn't until Andrew Bogut got hurt and he was out for the remainder of the series that LeBron James was able to do anything he wanted to on offense. So I don't even want to go down that road. We're talking about the Mavs and Warriors series. And so, yeah, the Mavericks, you know, they're playing their defense. They had Stephen Curry. Obviously, it was they had like the big man, whatever, every time they did a screen. They were playing just tight coverage on Steph for the most part. And every time he would ask for a screen, the big man would literally come up and make sure that Steph wasn't able to hit a mid-range shot, wasn't able to like step back into three, but it didn't work. Steph still found a way to get his shot off with his ball handling ability, his shot creating, his movement without the ball. Stephen Curry, like, just talk about Stephen Curry's just ability to create his own shot with on the ball, off the ball, because it's special.
See, Steph Curry, see, I've been on the Steph Curry train, man. That's my guy right there, you know what I'm saying? This is nothing new, right? We've seen this plenty of times. The man just adapts. This man shooting percentage have fell off quite from his peak, but they still treat him like he's gonna pull up from 40 feet every possession. That dude is ridiculous. This dude can find guys open. He hits the big man down low, and man's off ball movement is just too much for the Mavs. I be seeing some of the stuff they be running. I'm like, I would hate to guard Steph Curry for 40 minutes. This dude is 34, but still has conditioning like he's 25. It's kind of ridiculous. And the fact that the Warriors, they should have been killing the Mavericks from the inside from the beginning, because once they started getting Looney involved more and started attacking the basket, which also is Steph is severely underrated at. They severely underrated his driving ability because he has great finesse and touch around the rim. It's crazy how the game just got blown open once they started playing how they should have played. And that's why I think the Grizzlies probably would have ran the Mavs out the gym.
Yeah, I agree. Because, the Grizzlies are a very physical team.
Great paint presence and all that.
Yes. And Luka, listen, I like Luka, but he's very James Harden-esque, where it's like he's dribbling a lot and guys are just standing around sort of watching. And yeah, it will definitely be easier for Memphis.
Luka, yes, he had 42. Great offensive performance, but why ain't nobody talking about his defense in the fourth quarter? That man was getting blown by like he had.
He was.
Oh my goodness, it was terrible. I was like, they just blitzing them at this point. And like I said, that's how you beat these kind of players, these star players. Even if they role players, you can still find a way to win. You just gotta blitz the main guy doing all the work, because he ain't gonna have enough energy to play offense. Right. I mean, offense and defense. People are like, wait till this conditioning gets better. I'm like, I'm sure. Well, have we seen it get better yet?
That is true. I think the next level, the next evolution of Luka Doncic's game is going to have to be his off-ball movement, because if he's just going to dribble the ball back and forth, I mean, sure, that it works. You win games, you'll win MVPs, but just like with James Harden, if you aren't able to move without the basketball and sort of add a different element to your game, a la Stephen Curry, it's going to make the defense easier to guard you. And that's I want to talk
Do
about.
you also think that the Warriors are doing better against this Mavs team as with Phoenix because they actually played James Harden's Rockets and they're like, okay, this is kind of similar. We can kind of do some of the same things we did before.
I think that experience. I also think that the presence of Draymond is very important. Sure, yeah, they have Mikal Bridges, but Mikal Bridges is a very skinny guy. You know, he has a lot of length, but he's very skinny. Andrew Wiggins, yeah, he's skinny as well.
But he's more physical. Yeah.
But maybe it's just Andrew Wiggins is more physical. I don't know how tall Andrew Wiggins is compared to Mikal.
I think they're around the same height.
Around the same height. So yeah, I just think Draymond's presence is just very important because he's like a better PJ Tucker, way better PJ Tucker. I'll say that, and in that he can his physicality. His a detail on help defense as well is just valuable.
And also, think about Mikal Bridges versus Andrew Wiggins to get you. He could create his own shot on the offense if he wants to.
Also, remember, so I think the power forward position, Jay Crowder was playing it, right? And so, come on now, Luka's gonna cook Jay Crowder, like it's no question about it. And DeAndre Ayton. God bless you, man. But, you know, I thought you were going to be a really good defender coming out. They compared you to David Robinson, but you're not. Listen, Kevon Looney, he's a better defender than DeAndre Ayton by far. Like, no question.
Kevon Looney actually was holding his own when they tried to switch on him and attack the mismatch, but he held his own.
And he has experience.
Kevon Olajuwon.
And he has experience. You know, we've seen Kevon Looney get valuable minutes against one year against the Portland Trail Blazers when they didn't have Kevin Durant, he got injured, or in the finals against the Raptors. So he's been around the block and he knows what he needs to do against these type of guys.
Yeah.
And so the Warriors, their experience, Draymond Green's presence is just unmatched, and Stephen Curry's ability to play off the ball is a different dimension than what the Suns have in that. Chris Paul, he likes to dribble the ball a lot.
And Steph can actually get a bucket when needed.
Let's not throw slander on Chris Paul's name, man.
Is that slander? Well,
Come on
saying.
now,
Patrick
Beverley already
10 points in the fourth, 4 for 4. I'm just saying.
Patrick Beverley already ethered him. We don't want to throw more salt into the wound, man. But yeah, Stephen Curry, his off-ball ability is just. I don't think there's a better off-ball, player when it comes to moving off-ball than Stephen Curry. That's just my opinion. But yeah,
very, very, also very impressive win from the Warriors here. This is the game the Mavs had to win.
Yeah,
because having that momentum coming back and going back to their home arena would have been great. But now this type of loss here is like series shifting.
Well, hold up.
No, let me tell you something.
They can win 2 games at home. They did it before.
They could, yes, but like you got to realize these type of losses, like this is like a complete, like you had it in your grasp, and they just took it like right from you. It's like a Jose Alvarado steal. They came back from the corner hiding, snuck up on you and took the win away from you. And these type of losses, like it kind of like, dang, the role players like, shoot, I dropped 30, I dropped 20, and I'm probably not gonna do that again. So like how you and Jason Kidd got out coached. Like, it's just from top to bottom, it was just a bad breakdown. And people be saying, oh, Steve Kerr should be fired. Steve Kerr won them rings for a reason. You can't be no scrub and rely on your test. You look at Steve Nash. Oh, that talent, he can't coach worth the anywho.
They think Steve Kerr is like a.
They thought he was a bus rider.
Yeah. Shout out Charles Barkley.
Yeah, they think Steve Kerr bus rider.
Bro, like he's.
You see the difference when Mike Brown was coaching and Steve Kerr was coaching. It's like night and day.
It reminds me of remember with Eric Spoelstra with LeBron and D Wade in the beginning, and they were looking at him sort of sideways, like, is he really a great coach? But now we looking at him without
he's
LeBron.
Clearly top 3 coaches.
Exactly.
In the league.
I think it's because When the Warriors didn't have Steph, when they didn't have Clay, they were banged up and they couldn't win with Steve Kerr. People were looking at him like, look, see, I told you. Like, listen,
Yeah,
there's
they was
more.
putting them on fraud watch.
Listen, he had like young players. He had guys that shouldn't even be in the league starting from like Glenn Robinson III. Like,
Kent Bazemore was getting starter minutes. Like, come on, son.
come on now. And then Eric Pascal. Like, people thought Eric Pascal was good, and then all of a sudden he's gone from the system. And where is he at now? Like on the bench with the Mavs, with the Jazz, excuse me. I think it was. So yeah,
See,
gotta give Steve Kerr his
and I
flowers.
think it's funny because everyone the past 2 years was all like, the Warriors ain't make the playoffs, they suck. Now that they in the Western Conference, like, this is unfair. The Warriors, like, it was all jokes and giggles the past 2 seasons. So what happened now?
And then think about it. Okay, yeah, Mark Jackson, he got them to where they were in terms of like relevancy, right? The defensive end as well, helped develop Stephen Curry, but they were a first round out team. They won one playoff series against the Denver Nuggets, who was their best player, Ty Lawson. Like, come on now, like, what are we doing here? And Andre Iguodala,
they had Ty Law and Wilson Chandler doing the
George Karl was coaching the team. Now George Karl, he's a Hall of Fame coach, but listen, he choked a lot as well. So let's not just poo-poo on what Steve Kerr has been done, and because Mark Jackson, that's his squad and he developed them. Well, the next year Steve Kerr won the finals. He took the team that Mark Jackson couldn't even win a playoff series against with the Clippers, and they went to the finals and beat the Cavs. So I'm just saying. And then Stephen Curry won the MVP, then won the MVP next year. They won 73 games, and now they're 3-time champions. I don't know. Steve Kerr is an elite coach in my book.
Yeah, he's elite. People say but like he's the one who made the system. Like, I'm confused. People are, he just took the key. Like, no, he literally created the system to be, okay, Steph is this elite shooter. We need to do stuff to get him open. So they said more off-ball screens, more off-ball movement, took the ball out of Steph's hand for most of the part and started making him play off his teammates, and it ended up working. People was like, man, this ain't fair.
And here's the thing, because I love talking about the Warriors because it's an interesting, like, just story in itself. Because Kevin Durant, remember, there was like, I think it was like a story about how he was tired of like their offense. Like, he wanted more isolation, because if the Warriors, they don't do a whole lot of isolation.
No, they don't.
So I feel that story in itself is interesting, because at one hand, I kind of agree with him, because I'm like, damn, you want to take advantage of the matchups and everything. But on the other hand, you look at him, he's like, I mean, why would you want to break what's working right now? What broke.
You don't even need to do too much ISO in that offense anyway, because the system is to get open. You got the best shooter in the world in the history of basketball on your team. What do you need to be ISOing for?
Exactly. So I get
inch of
Kevin
space
Durant.
is enough for Steph Curry.
I get Kevin Durant, but where you at now?
I ain't want to get into
exactly.
that.
Where you at now? You wanted all the isolation. Where you at now? You should have just stayed with the Warriors and listened to Steve Kerr. But you did want to, and you just left the Hall of Fame level coach. So, hey, this is not a Kevin Durant subject. Okay, let's go to
life in these sentences. Fucking right, it's either that or life sentences. I'm relatives with Benjamin.